I can smell all of the smoke, all that love and positivity, that shit's a joke. I should dead them all, my heart ski down slopes. When you did piggyback, everybody wanna see you broke, bro. Me and snakes don't lip lock. I don't think the feet look good on me like flip-flops. I know if I spit it, it belongs in this Ziploc. They know I'ma kill them, all they hearing is tick-tock. Your time is up. Where there's fire, you see the smoke, yeah. I know liars, I seen them fold, yeah. I'm so tired from all these souls, it's done been a good year. My tires don't leave the road, yeah. Are they serious?
All right, let me talk to you real quick about Rexius Nutrition in Ralston. Rexius carries an awesome line of pre-workout from brands like Alpha Lion, Bucked Up, 5150, Insane Labs, and several other brands. They also have a great selection of protein powder, including my personal favorite, the All Max Hexapro cookies and cream flavored. Can't go wrong with that. They also carry the very popular brand Accent Sledge protein powders, branched chain amino acids, which are crucial to stay hydrated, and pre-workout. They also carry locally owned brands like VHI Fit. They carry their protein powders in several different flavors. They also have pre-workout, branched chain amino acids, vegan protein powder as well. And if you have a sweet tooth like me, you gotta try this Omaha protein popcorn. The owners Jamie and Brent Stryker are absolute studs and are very knowledgeable with a background in bodybuilding. Jamie even reached pro status as an IFBB pro women's physique competitor. Stop by Rexius Nutrition in Ralston on the corner of 84th and Q and receive 10% off when you tell them you're there on an official visit. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with another episode of The Official Visit. I'm your host, Oscar Galindo, and today I got a very special guest, a rising player in the 2025 class at Omaha Central. He's a junior. Currently, he's in basketball mode, but he's been turning some eyes in the recruiting circuit. It's Alijah Wayne, outside linebacker / tight end. You know, he can get his hand in the dirt there a little bit too. So just an overall athlete. Alijah, how you doing, man? Now that we got those technical difficulties ironed out.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. You know, like I said, those technical difficulties giving me a little bit of a headache there, but hey, man, we made it through, right? Yep. All right, man. So, first question I got here for you is: do you have a pregame routine or kind of like any superstitions you like to do or whatever it may be before a game to kind of get you going?
I always listen to like slower music before my games, just to kind of calm myself and calm my nerves a little bit.
Okay.
I try to like lock myself in, not necessarily like space my way from everybody else, but I definitely try to lock in, try to like get ready for the game for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, that's interesting. You know, a lot of people love to have, you know, their pump up music and you know, get themselves hyped up and stuff. And you just mentioned you kind of like playing a little bit some slower stuff, man. What's some music or what some artists we could hear you listening to before a game kind of get you in that mindset?
I listen to Future, Lil Baby. Those are like their slower songs. I know they got some fast like hype songs, but I listen to their like slower songs. Those are really just the two that off the top of my head.
For sure. Yeah, some good ones there, man. And do you have like a go-to song specifically that can get you, you know, in the mood or the mindset?
How by Lil Baby for sure.
Okay, yeah, there you go, man. For sure, man. Just kind of a different tone. Don't necessarily, you know, get yourself riled up. Maybe, you know, sometimes that can, you know, undo a lot of players. So, yeah, good to hear that. So then, do you have, and like I mentioned in the intro, you're kind of a versatile player. You kind of do it on both sides. But do you have a favorite player or players that, you know, you like to watch and maybe even try to like learn a thing or two from when you're watching them, or kind of, you know, pull from their game?
Right. I like watching DK Metcalf. I love watching his physicality gameplay. He's a really physical player.
Yeah, for sure.
Also George Kittle at the tight end position. I love watching him too.
Yeah, so kind of like that physical, players that like playing a little bit more physical, getting in defenders' faces there a little bit.
Yeah.
For sure, man. So talking about being physical, that kind of leads us here into our next question. In order to be physical, you gotta be able to move some weight, you gotta be able to pump some iron and stuff like that. So as part of our sponsored question from Rexius Nutrition in Ralston, who is the biggest weight room monster in that Omaha Central locker room?
I'll say me for sure.
You? Okay.
I push some weight around for sure, and I think I'm most locked in the weight room. I get everything done. I'm getting out there. First one in, last one out for sure.
Definitely, man. Let's hear some PRs, man. I want to hear some numbers, man. I want to hear what you're pushing around in there.
Recently, I maxed. I did 415 for like 415.
Okay. Yeah, man. Okay, getting up there, man. Is there anything? Are there like, I don't know if you guys have like power levels or whatever it may be at school, like numbers that you're kind of looking at, like, all right, I want to get to this on this specific workout or whatever it may be. Anything like that?
Well, yeah. And like in the weight room, it's always a competition. Always trying to like lift the most weight or whatever. We also have a board of like our power lifters and seeing those numbers. I mean, like we always trying to reach those numbers, obviously. But yeah, it's always a competition in the weight room. Seeing like it's just an overall good environment. Just everybody's getting their work done.
Yeah, for sure, man. Just growing with everybody, and everybody, keeping an eye out on each other to the left and to the right, making sure you're moving just as much as the guy next to you. Yeah. Sweet. So then the last pregame question I got here for you. I like to go out, get bite to eat, try different places, different tastes, stuff like that. Do you have any good low key spots outside of like your chain restaurants or whatever it may be out here in Omaha that you like to go get a bite from?
For sure. Pickleman's. I always love Pickleman's before my games. Our team gets those for our pregame meal quite often, and I love it for sure.
Yeah. Well, what's your go-to?
Go-to? I keep it plain. Just turkey and cheese. I keep it plain.
Keep it simple, man, for sure. Hey, man, that's definitely. I haven't tried that place, but I have heard some good things from them. So yeah, I might have to check them out sometime soon, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so that was it for our pregame questions. Like I said, kind of get to know you a little bit, about your pregame routine, where you like to eat, and obviously who's moving some weight there in the locker room. So now we'll kind of transition over here, talk a little bit more about Central Eagles football, and talk about your season. So from your sophomore year to your junior year, you guys had quite a bit of a transition phase. New coaches, an influx of new talent, and stuff like that. You guys improved in the win column. Didn't quite make it to that plateau of the playoffs or whatever it may be, but still by all means I would say good season of growth and whatnot. So kind of give me a little bit of your experience of your junior year, maybe some takeaways of what you saw throughout the year and what you experienced, I guess, there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said it, we have a new coaching staff, and they brought along some players. And I mean, like my junior year, it was just kind of like a break-in year for everybody, just like for everybody to get to know each other and like see how we play, and like just like have like just getting that connection with your coaches, and like as the season went on, like those connections between the players and coaches grew, and we started playing together as a team more for sure. And I think going into my senior year is like the year that we're going to take off because like everybody knows each other and we know how we play, and we all have the same goal in mind, which is to make playoffs and get to state for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And your sophomore year, like we mentioned, it was still a lot of growing throughout the whole team. It was just a very young team, and now you guys, this junior season, you got it was good experience for you guys.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, you guys just did everything you could to, take everything in stride and kind of learn and grow as things progressed. But looking back, what are kind of some of the jumps you saw from, your sophomore year to this year amongst the team? Like, what were some of the biggest areas of growth that you noticed?
I just noticed our dedication. We were all dedicated to go somewhere and improve like every day at practice, we were all locked in and just wanted to get 1% better each day. And that's where I saw the biggest growth, is that we were always trying to get better and always just like winning is like the number one goal every single day.
Yeah, definitely. And it was evident, when I went to go see you guys at practice over the summer, and it's clear, you guys like to, the defense is chattering at the offense, and it's back and forth, and even coaches are kind of getting into it a little bit, firing you guys up, and playing on D line, or not D line, but like the offense out, outside linebacker D line. You played some good players there. You had Caleb, and then playing on offense, you had Kavon, all those guys. Talk to me about what that mentality it is to play against those dogs. Those guys that are older and just high level players, and that intensity that comes with that. Talk to me about playing alongside those guys.
Yeah, just playing alongside those guys, it just made everybody better, including me. They like playing, like getting reps against them really like improved everybody's game. Because it set the tone, and it set the tone of like where we need to, like how good we need to be and how good our competition might be. And having those guys at practice going out and like almost every rep really helped us make big strides in our games along the season.
Yeah, most definitely. And obviously, going against an an FBS tackle, and then you got some D2 players as well. Definitely that's gonna help jump your game significantly. So in that sense, where did you kind of see those biggest, or individually, where did you see the biggest growth in your game? In what areas?
I saw myself, like my physicality get way better than my sophomore year. Like going against Caleb, getting more reps against Caleb and Kayvon. Those are two both very physical players. And I think that for me personally really increased my physicality and my just desire for the football, both on defense, at defensive end and tight end, just trying to get the ball, whether it's a sack or a catch or a touchdown. It boosted my physicality for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Just that nose for the football, and you get after it. So now those guys they're gone, man. They're heading out. They're getting ready to play ball at the next level. And you got yourself, and you got a very great group of kids in your grade. Opposite alongside you is Ike, another great player in your class, and a bunch of players, like I said. What does that mean to you now to be one of those seniors and one of those leaders going into this off season, and hoping to finally break through and get back into the playoffs? Like what kind of drives you to be that leader?
Yeah, and for me, I've kind of always embraced that leadership role, like including my sophomore season, because I played a significant amount my sophomore season and my junior season as well. I think I've always had that leadership mentality. And so I think going into my senior year, it's just really when I need to start taking over things and making sure things are getting done efficiently, and we need to be working as hard as we can to get to where we need to be.
Yeah, for sure. So then, what are some, I guess, what does that look like this off season? What does that entail? Because it's one thing to be able to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna step into that role, but what does that kind of look like to make sure that in your eyes, I guess, that leader role to help build up the team?
Yeah, throughout the school day, I'll be talking to my teammates, making sure they're showing up to the off-season workouts. Our coaches do a great job of keeping us active in the off-season, whether it's in the weight room or on the field after school. And we do have some multi-sport athletes, and I get that. But I also want to make sure that we're also putting football as a priority as well, or getting to those workouts for sure. Yeah, just so we can set ourselves up for success and when the season rolls around.
For sure. And I like that you kind of touched on being a multi-sport athlete. Like I mentioned earlier, you're also on the basketball team, and you guys are having a highly competitive season with a very bright, promising outlook for the rest of the season. Kind of talk to me about how that kind of helps you also as well on the football field, and also to share a little bit about the basketball team and how you guys have been doing so far.
Right. Yeah. Most of our we have a lot of football players on our basketball team, and I think like us being at practice on the court really like strengthens our bond. I mean, like, yeah, we're practicing every day, talking to each other. It's always a positive vibe, really competitive at practice, and I think that really helps towards our football team too. Because, like I said, we have a lot of football players on the basketball team, and that really helps. And the basketball team, yeah, we're doing great this season. It's just really because we have a strong connection.
Yeah.
And like our coaches, they touch on this from practice to practice, but we have a lot of players from a lot of different schools in the past couple of years, and like it shows a lot for how good we're doing since we haven't been together like necessarily all 4 of our high school years.
Yeah, definitely, and that's awesome. And it's great to see you guys rallying, and still being able to build that chemistry, build those bonds. It's showing on the court. So then. Kind of transition here. Going to talk a little bit more about your recruitment. Obviously this past weekend you had a big weekend. Not just racking up the first offer, but a first Division I offer from Grambling State. Talk to me about that. How that kind of came to be that offer from Grambling State.
And it was exciting. I got the call from my coach. And my coach, he had a strong connection with Coach Joseph, and I reached out to my Coach Muhammad. I reached out to Coach Muhammad a couple of weeks ago, asking him to maybe get in touch with Coach Joseph, see if he's interested in my film. And next thing you know, he hit me back up, was interested, and he pulled the offer. Not pulled the offer. He offered me the offer.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, so kind of talk to me what's going through your head when you hear those words of like, hey, we like to offer you. What's going through your head? Who's kind of the first people you're kind of in contact with afterwards?
Right. I mean, it was exciting. I mean, getting that first offer. I mean, it really it comforted me. I didn't get comfortable, but it just it really set in with me deeply because of all the work I put in, and it's finally starting to pay off.
Yeah.
And I just it really felt good to hear that. And I definitely reached out to my family, letting them know, because they've been supporting me both basketball and football this entire time. And I definitely my parents were there with me when they got the call, and we were all excited, smiles on our faces. I mean, it was a really exciting moment for us.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Being able to show your parents, that a validation, of being,
right.
Seeing your hard work and, like you mentioned, their hard work as well. Just kind of pushing you throughout the way. So that's awesome to hear. Back to the offer, Grambling State. Not just huge because of the fact that it's a D1 offer and your first offer, but there's also a little bit more importance and significance to it. Especially out here in this area where we don't necessarily get a ton of attention. And that's it's an HBCU, historically black college or university, and kind of seeing that that outreach kind of make its way into Nebraska and realizing the type of players we have out there. That's huge. And, I think that's, from what I've seen, I think outside of maybe a Jackson State offer, it's probably the first time I've seen it. So, that's huge. And I commend you for that. So I kind of did also want to ask, what did that mean, that aspect of the offer as well?
Right. I mean, I've been thinking about that ever since Grambling has been an option to me. That I just felt blessed to have that as an option. You living here in Omaha, Nebraska, talking about an HBCU looking at me, that was a really big deal. And I was when I got that call, I was really excited, and I'm really grateful because I know that those things don't come around often, especially where we are right now.
Yeah, for sure, man. And yeah, like I said, that's something huge. That's something I haven't really seen a whole lot of. So, do you kind of maybe look at hey, this could be the start of something big for the area and the kids out here, getting some, because that, even just more from it being an HBCU, it's, FCS schools, I feel are the schools that would really benefit from the players out here.
So seeing that level of football kind of start branching out here a little bit is really important to me, to see that, because, you see the South Dakota schools and North Dakota schools make it out here, and they're having a ton of success. So, did that kind of maybe trickle in your mind, like, this could be, the first domino for, what could be hopefully a pipeline, of schools reaching out? Did that kind of set into your head at all?
Yeah, like when I've been thinking about getting the first offer, I've kind of always thought of it as like that, like it being the domino effect. Like hopefully that like gets things rolling for me in my recruiting process. And like I said, I was just really grateful that it was an HBCU that offered me first.
Yeah,
that was just a really big deal, because that does, I think, catch a lot of eyes, especially living in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so shout out to Coach Joseph for keeping his connections out here, and Coach Muhammad as well, always putting in work and behind the scenes to build those relationships to help his players out. So shout out to them. So then outside of Grambling State, what other schools have kind of been reaching out to you? I've seen some Mizzou. There kind of been some communications there. What other schools have been reaching out to you, or where have you visited? Where do you plan to visit?
Mizzou's been in contact with me quite a bit. I recently went to Northern Illinois on Junior Day this past Sunday, which is a good experience. South Dakota, I also went on a Junior Day last weekend, and I have South Dakota State planned on a Junior Day in early April as well.
Nice. Yeah, solid list of schools there. Like I said, those FCS schools, FBS schools, bring them all on. So what are you kind of what are some of the biggest things that draw you? I know, commitment date is probably still way off in your head, still, whatever. But, when it comes down to it and it's time for you to make that decision, what are some of the things that draw you to a school, or what are some things you're kind of looking forward, or looking at the most into a school?
For me, it would be as much like the attention that the coaches like have given me, and like how like important it was for me to like go to that school.
For sure.
Like I feel like that says a lot. If I mean something to that school, like it just like if you're showing that, then I'm definitely gonna take that into account for sure.
Yeah. Like going where you're going, the whole going where you're needed, not necessarily where you're just, wanted. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's important. That's very important. So then once you get to your new school, you have another decision. What are you going to play? Do you lean more towards offensive side, defensive side? What are you kind of hearing?
I mean, like I've been asked this question quite a bit, like not only from coaches but also players and friends. I think just wherever they need me is where I'm going to be at. I mean, like I'm willing to play either one for sure. I mean, like Northern Illinois, they're recruiting me for defensive end, but like South Dakota and maybe Missouri, they're recruiting me for tight end. So I guess it just fluctuates, and I'm willing to play like whatever they need me to be.
Yeah, for sure. The last question I have for you, or not necessarily a question, but the last segment I like to do here is I call it the life game balls. So basically, I turn the table over to you, and this is where you can hand out, your game balls, your thank yous, your flowers, to those people that have been in your corner, kind of just throughout your life, and kind of supported you throughout your, athletic journey, and coaches, teachers, parents, teammates, whoever it may be, just those people in your life that have helped you, make it this far, and kind of kept pushing you throughout your life. So, if you got any life game balls you like to give out, it's all you.
No, for sure. Firstly, I'd like to thank God for giving me this opportunity and blessing me with the opportunities to like be in this position, because I know this doesn't happen to everybody. So I like to thank him for that for sure. And my parents, I like to thank them because they've sacrificed a lot for me to accomplish my dreams and play at the highest level that I can. And that means a lot. And hopefully one day I can give that back to them for sure. I also like to thank my trainers and my coaches, Coach Mackey and Coach Muhammad, for like always supporting me and keeping up with my recruiting process and helping with my recruiting process. And always like being in my corner and advocating for me around coaches and putting me in front of coaches. And like that plays a big role in this whole process with scholarships and all that. And I want to thank them for sure. And just my family, like my overall family, they support me. They watch my games. They always congratulate me. I was always up to date with what I'm doing, and the support really helps for sure. And I just wouldn't be there. I just wouldn't be in this position, in this interview, without those people for sure.
Yeah, man, for sure. Definitely. It's good to have all those people at home, at school, in athletics. That support system kind of help build you up and kind of guide you when you need that guidance. So yeah, it's awesome to hear. You got that awesome support system backing you up and pushing you to be the best version of yourself. So yeah, that's awesome. So last question I got here for you. We got Super Bowl Sunday coming up. I don't know. I'm not necessarily the happiest with the outcome of what the Super Bowl is, but I want to hear who you got. Who's your pick to win it on Sunday?
My whole house, they're rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I want to see the Niners win it. I want to see Purdy with that trophy for sure.
Yeah. Are you a Niners fan, or are you just kind of a detractor?
I'm not a Niners fan really, but I think I've been around the Chiefs a little bit too much. I've seen them too much. I want to see the Niners win it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I can get behind that. It's I've had enough, man. Like you said, dude. I'm sick of it, dude. But it is what it is. I'm rooting for Niners too as well. Yeah. I'm a Tom Brady supporter, Tom Brady believer. So one less ring Patrick Scott is good. It's good for the legacy, man. So that's where I stand on that. All right, man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on here, fighting through these difficulties that we've had, but we pushed through, and we got it here. And I wish you the best of luck in the rest of your basketball season. I'm hoping to maybe get out to some games. It's a little bit later in the season, but hopefully I can get out there and watch you guys ball out. But yeah, and then wish you the best of luck in your recruitment as well. I'm hoping to send out a lot more tweets of Elijah's gotten an offer from da-na-na and da-da-da and da-da-da. So
thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, no problem at all, dude. And hopefully maybe we might get you on here again in the summer. Get you and Ike or some other guys on here. Chop it up again. So
yeah,
appreciate
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Perfect, man. All right, so I'm gonna hit stop.
At my back, I promised I won't be the same dude. When you try to be the glue, it'll get you stuck. Always learn to hate, cause love will get you cut. You can have they back and they still gonna front. You can share a laugh and they can get you done.